my life, I have been told to be a good human. However, it has been through this class that I have learned what being a good human truly means. Throughout this year, we have focused on what has caused humanity to diminish, that we must learn from our mistakes in order to keep history from repeating itself. Nonetheless, I feel that we dwell on what we should refrain from doing, to not be selfish, not steal, that cockiness kills. Instead, I suggest we redirect towards positive actions. We must act on the good we are able to accomplish in order to impact the world. To begin, the idea of being passively good is simply resisting the urge to do wrong as a way of life. I believe that no greatness has ever come from people that watch from the sidelines. Great people try to affect the world positively in order to leave a legacy larger than the action itself. This concept is to be an actively good person. During World War II, Nicholas Winton saved 669 children by secretly running the Kinder transport. He saved others' lives while risking his own in order to leave a legacy for others to follow in. Only 40 years after the war actually ended did he become accredited for his deed, but that never mattered to him. He was an actively good person with intentions for the right reason. Now ask yourself, must you have good intentions in order to carry out a good action? I do not believe so. Towards the end of the book, Night, Elie Wiesel was faced with a decision to take care of his father or to let him die. Internally, Elie wished his father would just croak, yet although it made him angry every time he did so, he still gave his father 2 rations of food in order to keep him alive. Elie didn't always have an optimistic mindset, but he acted out of the goodness of his heart in order to continue the legacy of a family. Oftentimes, you don't want to complete a good deed, but sometimes you just have to. To continue, the Jewish religion's core belief is that when you go and fix the world, you are doing so to leave a legacy. This concept is the same as being actively good. The Jewish faith is separated from Christianity in the way that Judaism instructs you to go and do something for the greater good, for something more than yourself, whereas Christianity mainly discusses what not to do, what to refrain from, but not so much what you can do in order to put forth a positive effect onto others. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Christianity, it's just an observation. In addition to this idea, the book 1984 indirectly touched on the legacy you can leave, the lack thereof legacies left behind. I felt incredibly bothered by the way people interacted and behaved while reading 1984. After some examination, I've come to the conclusion that this is due to the fact that when someone was erased, terminated, or just died, they ceased to ever have existed, and so did their legacies. Because of this, no one in society had anyone to look up to other than Big Brother. I relate this to being only child. Most only children have to figure things out for themselves and generally have a harder time doing so. When you compare only children to children with older siblings, the latter tend to have it much easier as they have a mold that they can refer to as they mature. In conclusion, there's a difference between the acts of being a passively good person and actively good person. In order to change the direction our society is going, we cannot sit and watch others do it for us. To cause and effect, try to achieve greatness and leave a positive impact on the ones around you along the way. That is what I believe it means to be a good human.